I started singing what my mom says is at 2, and I was in church choir singing at my father's church and Tiny Tots, and then of course I continued always with music between playing instruments, piano and clarinet, and then continuing to write because I was into writing, journaling, and being a part of like the newspaper staff in high school, those things, all that together. And I think I always felt like I knew I wanted to sing because my daydreams were so strong about it. I would stand in front of my parents' mirror in their bedroom. They had this closet, and I would open the door and I'd go in and look at this big mirror, and then I'd pretend I'd hold the brush, and then I'd do the whole,
Yes.
and sing.
'Cause I still feel the same for you.
This is Stephanie Renee, and we are here in Center City, Philadelphia on Reelblack TV with our special guest for today's episode in Dombey. And I wanted to talk to you about the idea of legacy. In a city like Philadelphia that has such a rich musical history, and understanding that your new project, Pink Elephant, pays such careful respect to the idea of a classic soul sound. What does the word legacy mean to you? And tell us a little bit about your process for selecting the material for this new album.
Legacy to me means creating some kind of musical canvas that can withstand the times. It's going to be around for a long time, something we can continue to talk about, something that continue to be a part of the life soundtrack that we live and we can relate to because it's relative to how we live our lives. So I'm hoping that what I'm able to bring musically is something that can add to legacy. And my process for this particular album and making the songs, I really wanted to just get into the groove of writing, and I spend more time trying to craft stories. And my goal usually is to find the story to tell and be the narrator and allow those stories to speak to each individual.
Your album's named Pink Elephant. So explain to us sort of how where the title comes from and how that ties into this legacy that you want to leave behind with the messages from the songs.
Well, Pink Elephant is a take on there's an elephant in the room, right? I believe that each individual has their own call in life. There's something, a purpose that we're put here on earth to serve. And I think that when we understand that and embrace it, it shines brightly. So if you're shining bright, it's going to be kind of like that elephant in the room that people see and know is there. And sometimes it's a thing that some people don't want to acknowledge and own because it might be too bright and make them feel a little uncomfortable, as pink elephants or elephants in rooms do. So my goal is to tell this album is to talk about, well, the title in particular is to embrace our own personal greatness and be resilient in that and shine brightly so that other people can be inspired, and don't be afraid of it, and don't dummy it down to make someone else feel comfortable.
Absolutely. And so with that, with this wonderful stage presence that you have and all the energy that you give from the stage, you're also now in this wonderful company in your new label home with all these other strong female artists. How does that change your approach to performance?
Well, you know what? I think that it just makes me want to work harder to be better. And always continuing to be better as an artist is the goal, and continuing to grow as a person. So being in the same company as such great artists as like Angie Stones and Tina Marie's and Leela James and Layla Hathaway, all those people, my goal is to just continue to add to and not detract from what the whole mission of the label is in the first place.
I hear that. Should fans start rallying now to have the Super Diva tour?
Oh yeah,
the Stack Super Diva tour.
Yeah, they've been working on that, so we're gonna see what happens. We're all down to do it, so we see what happens, what the future may hold for us.
Excellent. And as we approach, especially the folks who are music connoisseurs, who are fans of yours and are very familiar with the Stack's legacy, you worked with a particularly outstanding executive producer for this project in terms of trying to pull the sound together. So let's talk about Leon Silvers III and his contribution to your message.
Well, Leon Silvers III comes from his own personal legacy of great music. He's made a lot of music in the era that was soulful, funky, and sweet, and they had these really cool lyrics, and He also worked at Solar as one of the head producers there and produced records for Shalimar and some Lakeside and some Gladys Knight and a lot of different people. So I knew that I felt like I could connect with him in some way, and if we got together, I think he could help me to speak through the music the way I felt like I heard for this particular album. And I enjoyed working with Leon. I grew so much in the process. He's a great mentor for me, and I want to continue to work with him in the future. If we, as music listeners of R&B and soul music, allow for the artist to have free range of expression, then this is going to grow and evolve into something else. A lot of people are experimenting with a lot of different sounds in the music, and you'll feel it and you hear it, and it's starting to become more of a recurring theme, so it's not going away necessarily. So people are starting to be open a little more to hearing something a little different than how they heard it before.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing some time with us today.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. Thank you. Peace. This is Ndambi, and you're watching Reelblack.